This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the OnlyFriends podcast. Today, we are upgraded. Look, man, we roll over that speedometer. We hit the 101, and now we're at 102. Boom, upgrade.
Right.
Everybody gets headphones.
Wow.
We're here.
Sounds great. Your voice sounds great, Matt.
Thank you. You know, I have a face for radio. I decided to find a voice that matches. Somehow, this turned into a video podcast. You know what? I'm not for this time, Brian. That's what it really boils down to. I'm not for this time.
No. You're like from the 1920s.
Let's not go too far. I'm
Well, he
not out here.
experienced those. He was there in 1920.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Let me tell you what's getting really old, okay?
You?
The fucking tortoise with a slam dunk. Yo, that was like...
I'm older than him. That's the funniest part.
Yo, it's like NBA Jam. He's like, he's on fire.
I can't believe I fucking set that up. Oh my god! I just John Stockton that
You
shit.
really did,
Like,
man.
Jesus.
Oh, I broke the fucking rim on that one.
God, how did I just let that happen?
That was beautiful.
Incredible. I'm pained.
Yeah.
I'm pained right now that happened.
Thank you
It's
for
a
the
beautiful
gift.
thing. What's the topics anyway today? Since we got to move on from your joke.
Apparently, me.
Shut down. We have to run this. We have to run the podcast
over?
now. He's speechless.
It's gonna take him a few minutes to get himself together.
At least a bare minimum. I got to tell you, we've already outkicked our coverage. This is far beyond expectation. When I found out it was me and the two of you nimwits,
He had to find some way to say something.
I figured I was going to speak it into the void, you know.
yeah.
But here we are, right out of the gate. You're just spitting fire, you know. The tortoise comes out.
Hey, I come to play.
He's been working that one up for at least 6 weeks.
I have
just
been.
waiting for the perfect timing. Nailed it. Comedic timing was impeccable.
I can't even believe he got there so quick.
But hey, look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us. We've
Look at
upgraded.
us. We have.
I will say, we've kind of been testing some things this week, seeing what works, what doesn't. This microphone stand being one of the things. Fucking Christ.
Yeah. Oh, we're upgraded. All right. Yep.
Yep, real
A lot
fucking
of
upgrade.
complaining, not a lot of problem solving.
Yep.
We've been trying some things out, including different time slots, and the data's kind of in. This is not the slot.
This is not the time.
That sucks because I love this time.
I hate it.
It's also allegedly, like according to YouTube statistics, the best time to upload.
But not go live, right?
Well, yeah, I guess like it might just be a little bit different for live audiences. So our audience clearly is not a 3 p.m. audience.
They're 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we have 155 concurrent watching right now. Usually when we do the mornings, we're somewhere in the neighborhood of like 400 to 700.
Yeah.
And when we did the night pod, it was again in like the 4 to 6, 5 to 600 range. Now, to be fair, I don't know if that was a byproduct of the time slot or how fucking unhinged the content was. But one way or another, evening podcasts seem like they are a viable alternative for us.
Mm-hmm.
Noonish seems like the most probable destination for our actual landing pad.
Yeah.
Maybe not even noon, honestly. Maybe 11 a.m. is best.
I think 11 is the best. Well, get here 11, start at noon.
No, get here at 10 and start at 11.
We did that for WSOP, right?
Yeah. And it's best for my schedule for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for viewer interaction and garnering an audience. But what it's bad for is Melissa. And things that are bad for Melissa indirectly are bad for Berkey. Because I have to summon the beast and get my head ripped off by both her and Rudy as I knock on the door. And then inevitably the pod will start at 11:30 instead of 11 anyway.
Right.
Because, you know, the makeup and whatnot. And to be fair, she's our greatest asset. So we kind of do have to accommodate.
Right.
Right. It's like, you know, every one of you lift
She
out.
knows she has leverage.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Every one of you lift out. Every one of you. Christian's been gone for 6 months. No one even noticed.
Nope.
That's not true, actually. The comments are just riding without chin here. But when the poo dog disappears, so does apparently all of our audience. Like this is troubling.
Yeah.
These are non-Berkey numbers right now.
Right.
This is when I leave it up to Conrad to host with Ryan DePaulo numbers.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun that day.
At whose expense?
Maybe if everybody smashes the like button, the algorithm will,
Get him, Brian.
yeah, just put it out to everybody, and
Yeah,
our
get
audience
'em.
will grow.
Oh, let me get it.
Melissa, I hear that you're on a break from your hosting duties. If you could make a thumbnail right now, that'd be fucking great. Don't think you get any time off. This is not the weekend. We're here to do some work. All right. As far as conversation goes, first thing I want to talk about, family. I want to talk about family, La Familia.
La Familia.
We're going to the Pirates.
Well, in the 70s, their
Correct. We
theme
are
song
family.
was "We Were a Family." But go on.
So for myself, I like to take good care of my family, and part of that is having an embarrassing amount of people on my Verizon phone plan. Like a ridiculous. What do you think is too many people on a Verizon phone plan?
What is too many?
Yeah.
Being a single man like yourself.
Correct.
Living far away from all of your family.
Correct.
3.
Three, yeah.
Three seems
Four, I mean, I guess 3. You being who you are, I would say 3 or 4 is okay. Is generous. I
Sure.
would think.
sure. 11. I
11.
have 11 lines on
Wait.
my family plan.
Hey, that's your favorite number.
You know 11 people?
Fuck off.
Wait, time the fuck out. 11?
I've been around since the dawn of time. You think I haven't made a friend or two along the way?
11. What is the bill every month?
I don't know. It's set on auto pay.
Yeah, but you can still know.
Well, I trust that of the 11, at least some of them are sending me monthly Venmos, and some of them are. Like Dolak is on my family plan.
Dolak is on. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's part of the fam.
my cousin and his wife, they're on the family plan. My nephew, my sister,
yeah, okay.
my
So
uncle.
to be clear, you're not paying for all the 11.
I don't know how many I'm paying for.
But you get people send you Venmo, so you should know that, right?
Well, have you ever like gotten an influx of Venmos?
No.
Okay, well,
What's that like?
I get rent on Venmo. I get these phone bill payments on Venmo. I get like sporadic.
Basically,
You bought me a cheeseburger. Here's the payment back on Venmo.
his notifications
They
are off.
don't ever.
Correct.
Like,
My notifications are off.
That's A.
Oh,
My other
okay.
That's the
fucking
short
question
story.
was, when
Okay.
you walked in Verizon, you said, hey,
Oh, I don't
my
walk in
favorite
anywhere.
number is 11. I think I can find 11 people that want to go on my fucking family plan. Let me call them. Hold on. How did that work
Look.
out for 11 people?
Let's be clear. I do not walk into Verizon. I don't do anything that I can't. If it can't be done over the phone or online, I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it because if it can't be done over the phone or online, I can't hand it off to my
Right.
assistant. And therefore, my time is not like right now. Our mail, which who the fuck wants mail?
Snail mail.
It's funny. They think they left a threatening note in the mailbox, but they didn't. They did me a favor. They leave a note that says, your mail has collected up to a point that we can no longer deliver. It's all been returned to the post office. If you don't come within 10 days of this notification, it will begin to be sent back to the original sender.
And you're like, fine.
Exactly.
What do I care?
So-
no, I'm not gonna get my my
Right.
credit card or pre-approved
Right,
credit
of course.
card.
So Henry Kilbane was staying at our place this past weekend. And on Sunday, he comes up, he goes, mate, a very angry postman, or it must have been Saturday. A very angry postman came to the door, and he's ridiculously upset. He wants you to go to the post office. He said there's a bunch of mail there, and if you don't go, they're going to start sending it back. And he's like, I'm just like, don't shoot the messenger. I don't live here. And he wasn't having anything about it. Like, he was just really mad that you wouldn't go pick up your mail. And I was like, yeah, I don't, like, send it back. I don't care. You think I care if Visa MasterCard gets their fucking junk mail back?
Right.
Send it to them.
Yeah.
I don't want any mail ever. Although I do realize now, I kind of fucked Espen because he asked if he could use my address to get a debit card sent there. And I told him, yeah. And they just stopped delivering mail to us. So that's kind of bad.
I think what's funny because this exact same thing would happen to me if it wasn't for Michelle.
Oh, it's happened here at the office too.
Of course. Who goes in that? Like,
Whoa, you, the manager.
I know, but listen, is there anything important in there?
So much fan mail. So much fan mail, Brian.
Okay, well, that is important.
We get T-shirts sometimes.
It's true, yeah. No, but that stuff gets delivered right to the door.
No. Those fancy T-shirts that we're someday going to coordinate and wear together, they got delivered in the mailbox.
Okay. Where's the key?
It's downstairs. It's in the bag of all the keys.
Yeah.
But like, no,
it's in the key bag.
But the same thing would happen at my place if Michelle didn't get the. I can't remember the last time I got it. There's like 2 things per year that I get in the mail that like I need, which is like my sticker for my car for the registration, and like maybe my voter registration. But I don't even think that is important.
No,
I don't even think you need that.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Right. So it's literally just one thing a year.
Right.
And I know, and
you
I know
can look for it.
Yeah.
I have a monthly subscription to this beef jerky company from Austin.
Really?
Yeah, so they send me
the info.
It's so good. It's the one that we got at Palms. I don't know if you remember, or you might not have been there for that trip. It's so it's the only way I can describe it is that it's beef jerky made with the fat still rendered, or not rendered rather. So like each strip is like half fat.
It's like very crispy bacon, very thin, sliced cut. Like very, very crispy. And
the meat part is very brittle, but the fat is so succulent.
Like you can literally
so it is rendered. It's just, it's like bacon. How when you render bacon fat, it's like it becomes part of the fat and the meat become like one.
No, it's like bacon when you don't get to that point where the fat is still separate. You understand what I'm like non-crispy bacon?
The way you're describing it, it sounds like I wouldn't like it, but because it's like too fat. Like beef jerky should be lean. That's how I think of beef jerky, is lean meat.
I mean, you know what it looks like to me? It looks like the outer portion of a ribeye.
Okay.
But you can barely even describe
it's like super marbled.
It's so thin.
So it's not like a chunk of fat. It's like marbled through the meat.
It is so thin.
Yeah, but
it's like a piece of paper.
It's paper thin.
Like it's paper thin. Like you would never even get this texture like what you're thinking right now.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like this big thick jerky that you have to like tough your way through.
What is it called again?
Sonny Boy. SONNY.
All right.
Boy.
I'll come over and I'll try some if I like it. I'll order.
Well, here's the problem, Brian. It's at the post office.
God damn it.
So there is some incentive for me to potentially go and pick up my beef jerky that's been sitting there that they hopefully haven't sent back to Sonny Boy. Which, if they're going to send anything back, it probably would have been the beef jerky.
When something gets sent like that, you have to be the person because you have to like show ID or something.
Very annoying.
Somebody with that address.
I might figure out a way to like put Tammy on, like call,
on your ID.
Yeah. No. Like on the house.
Yeah.
So call, like have her added. Yeah. And then tell her that she has to go pick up my mail. Oh man.
I mean, I can always go to the post office one day.
Oh yeah. Why are you in with us? Fucking pay down the tab.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Exactly.
I forgot that we have Conrad here.
It only costs like 15.
50. Fine. I'll take 0.00000000001% of the tab off.
Plus half the jerky you probably be eaten by the time you get home.
So I'd say coming all the way back to Verizon. Okay. I don't even know how we got on the mail tangent. But the Verizon thing. I have 11 people or 11 lines on this thing, but I made my sister, I guess, a manager of the account. So like she has access to all the passwords. She can get things reset, whatever the case may be. All of this is very important for a very specific reason. I don't know if you guys remember, but this must have been like 2.5 years ago. There was a big sweeping, like scam going through the poker community where people were getting login info to exchanges, Telegram. There was a lot of Telegram hacks, a lot of Skype hacks, a lot of WhatsApp. All these hacks that were taking place. And there was this big warning amongst the community of like use two-factor authentication. And even in spite of two-factor, if you're not utilizing a third-party app, so a lot of two-factors that are offered are done so in a way where you can confirm through a phone call, text message, things of that nature. And I think the big way that they were hacking was two-factor on your email, right? So oftentimes what you'll have is, and we have this all the time, you have to confirm something via text or call, right? So the way that these scammers were getting around it is they were calling like Verizon, T-Mobile, whatever, with certain information of the account owner, and they were phishing pretending to be the account owner, getting the account unlocked, and then switching out like all their passwords, getting it all redirected to their burner phone or whatever, right? So obviously at the time I got relatively safe, set up mostly two-factor, but since then I've probably gotten a little sloppy. I'm not sure exactly which devices I have that aren't utilizing like Google Authenticator or whatever.
All of them. Just tell everybody all.
No, no. Why would it? It's the opposite. Tell them that all of them are using Google. Oh yeah. I'm definitely vulnerable somewhere, but like it's because certain apps you can't use on Google Authenticator. You have to use the two-factor that they offer. Mm-hmm. So they're just like weaker in security anyway. I'm telling you all of this because my sister, God bless her soul, was job searching. And she hasn't been gainfully employed really in her adult life. So she's like really struggling trying to find something. She gets offered $20 an hour to do data entry, right? So she finds this assumingly on LinkedIn or something along those lines. And this is her point of contact, Brittany Johnson. So she has this exchange with this Brittany woman. And this woman asks, you know, do you have a cell phone plan or whatever? And she says, no, it's not my own. It's my brother's. We share a family plan. And the woman says, do you have access to it? And she says, yes, I'm able to manage the account as needed. So then she goes on to say like, okay, well, you're going to need a work phone. And this iPhone device, which will be part of your equipment, will be ordered from your phone carrier, but the company will be responsible for making the payment on the line. Is this okay with you? And she says, yeah, that's fine. So then the woman says, I need your username and password in order to proceed with the order of payment. And at that point, thank God, my sister was sharp enough to realize she was being scammed.
Yeah.
So she sends me the screenshot. She goes, do you think this is a scam? And like, even though she's like relatively sharp on it, because it's a job offering, right? Because you have this thing dangled that feels professional.
Yep.
It doesn't seem that far-fetched. Where it's like I read it and I'm just like instantly, yeah, this is a crypto scam that's going around for sure.
Yeah.
Like don't reply. And she was, disappointed. She's like, oh man, that's super annoying. That sucks. I'm glad I caught it. I'm like, yeah, me too, because it's not like she's my nephew who has no access to give or to change the password or anything along those lines. Like she has full autonomy over the account.
Right.
And it's like all 11 lines just snap hacked.
Wow. Well, that's good thing you caught it.
Yeah.
That'd have been a nightmare.
Yeah,
I don't know how far it would have went.
Well, I think it would have been less of a nightmare for me. It's funny because like I have the most to lose out of everybody on the accounts, but I'm also the most protected. Mm-hmm. So I think it probably would have been like very minimal to me. There's a chance that like maybe my IG could be compromised or something like that, which is an annoyance. Like I don't think people are really going to fall for scams. I see it happening all the time where people's IGs are getting taken over and then their stories immediately become, I made X amount of dollars on crypto. Like, tag this person and find out how to get rich. Yeah, it's like, oh, how is this even a fucking scam? Mm-hmm. Like, who's falling for this?
So for like super important stuff, I have two-factor authentication through Google Authenticator, but I have Google Authenticator works offline. So I have it on an old phone offline. So nobody could even hack into like even if they got into my phone, it wouldn't matter because it's on an offline.
It shouldn't matter anyway.
Look at the fucking turtle.
I know what I'm doing, man. I know what I'm doing. You think I don't know what I'm doing?
Why is it a phone that's offline?
No, that's definitely sharp.
Next level.
Yeah. That's definitely sharp. I feel like it doesn't matter though. Anyway, I haven't used Google Authenticator in a while.
No, but if they can somehow hack into your phone, they can hack into your Google Authenticator. And use Google
Okay, for some reason I thought there was like a biometric setting to get into Google Authenticator. I could be wrong. Again, it's been a while since I used it.
I want to say that there is, or you can have it
set
up.
The advice
or you can just have it set up that there is.
Thing that I've got,
yeah. I mean, having a cold phone obviously is super sharp. It's just annoying. It's like now if you're out,
right? But I really don't need it unless I'm doing something. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on like what you're utilizing it for. Yeah. But like it'd be annoying if like you're trying to send a crypto transaction and like you're just out or you're out of town or whatever. It's like honey, go in and
exactly.
Can you get into my flip phone?
Yeah, get onto this phone, which is the battery's probably dead, so you need to charge it up first and then
right. And then Michelle instantly has questions like, the fuck you hiding, man? This is burner phone bullshit. I don't understand. All right. Well, now that Melissa's out of town, let's talk baseball.
Oh my God.
Yes, let's fucking talk baseball.
Yeah.
The goddamn Yankees just swept the fucking Mets
Yeah, Subway
in
Series.
the Subway Series. What a beautiful
I actually
skit.
watched that game yesterday.
It was 4-2,
really good
4-2
game.
both games, and Yankees just did the goddamn work.
Yep.
Now to the little brothers
I
of
love
baseball.
man. I love baseball. I really do. I love it. That doesn't interest me at all. Like, there's nothing about the Subway Series that makes me be like, oh, I need to watch some good baseball.
It's funny because they were talking about it how on the broadcast last night and how they said, oh, maybe the Subway Series lost its allure and that kind of stuff, which you're alluding to.
Yeah,
but
there's no Clemens throwing a fucking broken bat at Piazza.
Their ratings and the attendance and everything was just shattered. Like
1.1 million were watching.
Yeah, 1.1 million.
The next biggest was 1.2 when Derek Jeter retired.
Yeah,
his last
and they were
game.
obviously the record crowds for the year there, which makes sense. I mean, it's same city,
so
but
local.
right.
It's
but
coming back. Like
I think,
both teams were never good in the last X amount of years.
And now they're
It's
both-
when they're both good. The Subway Series is popping.
I mean,
The Mets being good is an interesting proposition for baseball as a whole. I don't know in my lifetime that they were good in the 80s, but like it was so early 80s that I don't really remember it. And then there was the one-off season where the Subway Series happened in the World Series.
2000.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like they've just been a hopeful team.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of
good way to
strong-
put it.
yeah.
They never want to spend
Hopeful
money.
team.
No, that's not true, man. They had the
Not-
sickest rotation for like the last 10 years that just didn't pan out.
Well, they kept a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have 8 guys in the rotation / pen that throw 102, some Tommy John's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think Syndergaard's the only one that really left, but their rotation is better. Their rotation is absolutely better.
What
than
about
ever.
Matt?
He's
old now.
He was a goner, Harvey.
Yeah,
You're talking
Matt
about
Harvey.
the
He was
Dark
the
Knight.
original of that crew, though.
Batman.
He was the first. Like
I
he's the
think
oldest. He
I
was the
think
first. Yeah.
It was Harvey, Syndergaard, and DeGrom.
DeGrom, yeah.
Kind of all at the same time, but I think DeGrom got
Right, but
hurt.
DeGrom and Syndergaard were a lot younger. I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Harvey went to Baltimore though, and just gets trashed every game.
Oh, he's still playing?
Yeah.
No
I'm
way.
not sure about today, but I know like last year or 2 years ago. I'll check it out.
Maybe I'm off on the age thing. I thought he was like mid to late 30s now.
Those guys still pitch
kind of
though.
close. Man.
Yeah, that's true.
If you think about it, look at
That's true.
He's 33 right now.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah, he's probably got 2 more years like Arrieta on the tail end of his career.
but like when you look at the Mets lineup rotation, it's better than ever right now. They have fucking Scherzer. They have DeGrom.
Yeah.
They have
Scherzer was a nice pickup.
Tahoon. Your old guy, right? Tahoon Walker or.
He was a Pirate?
I'm not sure if it's Tahoon. It's Walker's the last name. I know that for sure. He pitched last night.
I thought he was talking about
Vogelbach?
No, Talon.
Oh, no. He's on
the Yankees.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Jameson Tyon.
Yeah, Tyon. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's a Yankee.
Crazy to see him and Cole end up 1 and 2
Yep.
in the same rotation again after we fucking dump them.
I didn't even think about that.
It's so painful, man.
You guys
It's
can take
so
Cole back for
hard.
Cruz if you want.
Take who?
You guys can take Cole back for Cruz right now.
No. Listen. The Pirates. Okay, listen. The Pirates. They're terrible. They're a dumpster fire. They lost 14-2 today, but little bright spot with O'Neal Cruz. He's unbelievable. Today he hit the hardest ball ever hit in the StatCast era. Now that's here it is right there.
Field. That is going to hit hard off the wall.
It was a single.
Bounced right back.
Because it bounced right back to the guy. Yeah.
Well, it's a combination of things, right? It's he hit the ball 122 miles an hour, so
he
it got
stood
out.
there.
It got out there quickly, right?
Oh, he got out there. Three.
It also bounced directly off the wall to
Right.
Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
So those two things happen.
Right.
But third and most importantly is he gave it that little DR pimp.
Yeah, he just. Well, he should. You know what? I don't care. He should. Like 122.4 miles an hour.
What's the matter if it stays in the park, man?
I mean, because it's incredible.
No,
Now,
obviously his bat speed's insane.
Yeah, so the StatCat era only goes back to 2015. But I mean, even if it didn't, like this is one of the hardest hit balls like ever. Probably pretty close.
Troy Percival would disagree.
Yeah.
He saw or maybe it was Tim Salmon. I can't remember. One of them. Yeah, it was Tim Salmon. Troy Percival was pitching when Bonds hit that home run in the World Series, and they just cut to the dugout, and he goes, "Holy shit!"
That's funny.
Yeah, I would have loved to see like Bonds and McGuire and some of those guys what their exit velocities were.
Yes, they're tainted.
So yeah, no, that's true. Well, you know who's not tainted?
Liver King.
Liver King is definitely tainted. But so the record that he broke was Yankee himself, Giancarlo Stanton, who he had the StatCast record. Not only did he have the StatCast record for the second, he had the third and the fourth and the fifth.
I could have sworn Judge was up there.
No. So they showed. I don't know how far it goes down, but they showed the top 5, and now Cruz is 1, and Stanton is the next 4. I mean, he's ridiculous, Stanton. Like, I mean, that's what he's known for, is just like these absolute missiles.
Talking about being ridiculous, how about Aaron Judge? He's
48 yesterday.
Hold on, he's like 30. What did we say? 31, I think.
30 or 31.
He
Yep.
turned down I think 7-year, $250 contract to be a free agent at the end of the year. And what a fucking season!
And he's just one of the best seasons that like.
He's had a little
anybody's
dry
ever had.
spot the last 2 weeks, but like
He's back, man. He hit one last night.
he's 12 home runs away from 60, and we have what, 35 games left? 30 games left?
More. I mean, yeah, 30, maybe 35. We have a month and a week. Yeah. That's man.
Bet
I
on
would love to
yourself.
see. I would love to see him get 260 or close. You know, like down the stretch. Is he going to get to 61? Because they were saying, and this is a bold take or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how Berkey will agree with this, but I forget who it was on MLB Network was saying that if he hits 61 or 62, that he is now
Jesus
the
Christ.
home run single season home run leader, because with
Everybody else
not the
is tainted.
steroids, everyone else is tainted,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
And the fact that he did it without
Who are these
That's
idiots?
not even close.
See, I knew he
Shut
would not.
up.
No, absolutely not. You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
You're
Because
just
it's your
out of-
guy?
No.
No,
Because one took steroids and the other didn't.
Okay.
Or
That's-
hasn't got caught yet.
Right.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
That's
Like,
the
What do you mean? One
That's
got
the
caught,
argument.
the other didn't.
who cares? Who cares? Technically, Bonds never got caught. He hit fucking 73 or 75. I don't even know what he hit.
he hit 73.
Yeah, like
Wait,
he hit an
what?
absurd amount.
What do you mean he didn't get caught?
He technically never got caught. McGuire and Sosa and all these other. I mean, like it's alleged, and everybody's pretty
He's
confident.
he's never been tested and then tested positive.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
but I mean,
And he's never admitted to it or
Right.
anything along those lines.
right?
But,
yeah. But we all know that he did.
Yeah, but like you shouldn't have such high degree of confidence that nobody else is juicing now. It's like this is an insane stance to take.
I think you have a much more high degree of confidence now because they're tested much more regularly than they were then. It's just like
How high is your degree of confidence that steroids are not being used in the NFL?
we're talking about the MLB.
Right, but I'm drawing
I
a
don't-
parallel because NFL players are tested many times over.
I think
Yeah.
that
And it's widely
They're
known that
tested more in
steroids,
the NFL than they are in the MLB. I mean, I guess I don't know.
given the short season time frame,
Yeah.
But it's like widely believed that steroids are used rampantly in the NFL.
do you think that like steroids evolve yearly?
Yeah, of course.
Like-
that's why that era existed. It was a combination of HGH, HCG, and androstenedione, and all of these new designer drugs that were A, more efficient than the old school anabolic steroids, and B, able to beat tests. And that'll always be the case. It's just like anything else where like the cheaters will always be ahead of the security. But the big thing that we have to recognize, and we need to start, in my opinion, shifting a little bit more towards this mindset. Like we talked about the Liver King yesterday. If that guy's juicing or not, who gives a shit? If we have the technology available where he is in zero health decline, and I don't know that that's true, obviously, but if we can use him as a test subject and see like that across the board he has zero health decline and actually lives a much more efficient life, a much more I don't want to say fulfilled because that's subjective, but like along the health spectrum, is much more optimized than someone without the aid of whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is he's taking. Why are we not leaning into that?
Yeah.
It seems insane. We use science for everything. All of a sudden, we don't want to use science for bodies.
Yeah, it's just such the stigma.
Right.
It's so, hard. It's so hard for society to get over it once it's been ingrained for so many years.
Agreed.
I mean,
right?
But it's has to be a lot of down fucking side effects to steroids.
It does not have to be. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a perfect example. He is a lifetime user of steroids.
Listen, we see in what happens under the camera. You don't see what happens off camera. I don't know what this guy's life's like.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, anybody. Just in general, you just have problems as well. That people don't know.
Okay,
about.
let me simplify this for you. How much downside do you think there is to recreational drug use outside of the extremes of fentanyl?
And opioids and that kind of stuff.
Yes, outside of the things that are abused in an epidemic but also you're talking extremes, right? Regardless of what leads to those abusive factors, it's not the general case, right? And I'm not advocating for recreational drug use, but smoking pot, eating mushrooms, taking acid, even doing coke doesn't instantly turn you into a drug addict.
Right.
Right? There are mitigating factors that could potentially make you susceptible to being a drug addict.
I'd fight about the coke one, but yeah, go
Okay,
on.
fine. Cocaine could be the outlier, but most of these recreational drugs that have been stigmatized in a certain way actually don't have addictive properties to them.
Right. I was gonna say when you that's why he said coke, because I think coke has
correct
very addictive.
Coke's on the other side.
Has a
of the line.
addictive property, but yeah,
Push it out.
But yes, of course, marijuana and mushrooms and that.
Okay, so that's my point. If this thing that's been stigmatized forever that we have decided collectively as a society is so bad that we should put people behind bars, yada, 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 yada. And then later we come to find out the science is more in favor of actually there's almost no downside and there's medicinal usage for this subclass of drugs and all these other things. Of course, it's easy to stand on a soapbox and say well, there has to be some sort of decline in their lifestyle and in their health if they're doing this type of stuff. There does not have to be. Right. Just like Schwarzenegger, I use as an example because he is throughout his life been kind of the embodiment of what an optimal, I don't want to say an optimal man because it comes with the stigma of his persona and who he is and the philosophies he believes. That's not what I'm talking about. Physically though. He represented what the optimal man looks like, or what the optimal man, the human man, could.
Goddamn
could
Terminator.
Be. Yeah, he's 6'4", just shredded to the gills, and it was as much a byproduct of hard work as it was designer drugs.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the whole point. It's just okay, I'm on board with saying if the science demonstrates that it enlarges your organs, it enlarges your heart, it leads to heart failure, it has all these downsides, then yeah, sure, we should stay away, right? But is that what the science is saying, or is that what the science is saying for people who abuse it? Right. So if we have the ability to take probably the greatest baseball player to ever live in Barry Bonds and amplify it to the point where it's not even a discussion through these designer drugs, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
What is the downside? I don't understand. Creating a level playing field? What level playing field? God didn't allow there to be a level playing field. Right? If you want to create a level playing field, now Bonds isn't allowed to be on it and everybody else should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it's such a silly argument to say that anybody who's interested in pursuing some level of optimization or some level of chasing an ideal, not to the level of perfectionism, obviously, I think that's unhealthy, but really just trying to reach that upper echelon to whatever ability necessary. If we have science that can help that, it seems crazy not to.
I'm pretty thrown off right now because isn't there science against steroids saying that things it does enlarge your organs and shit like that?
Well, yes, but a lot of the education that you will have received, or people who don't spend a lot of time diving into this, will be very antiquated, right? Because it was all generated through scare tactics of the war on drugs. Right. So that's why I keep bringing it back to designer drugs, because you're somebody who throughout your lifetime has probably dabbled a bit. You know, I don't want to project anything onto you, but you know, we know you get it popping, okay?
You don't know anything. But also, like, if
But
you're
also I keep it popping.
But hold on. But if you're like looking into like this type of stuff, like into steroids and stuff, like, aren't you only going to read like the opinions of other people that are looking for the same thing you are, kind of, in a way?
Well, that's a byproduct of having to do your own research and be good about it and trust some educators. And for what it's worth, I'm not very well versed on steroids. I know a smidge based off
Side effects for women: deepening voice, facial changes.
Why
in
are you
hair
looking
growth.
at women?
I don't know. I was just scrolling. Enlarged clitoris, irregular menstrual cycles,
Wait, why are you shocked by any of this? Of course, if you give testosterone to women, they turn closer to men.
infertility.
Yeah, men can't have kids. Like, what? Why are these surprising side effects to you?
Oh no, just looking at him and I was like, whoa.
Okay, well, you know, maybe let's take a beat, process it a little bit, and then figure out if it's relevant.
Didn't
Well,
sound good.
But like HGH that's not testosterone.
So that's more so where I'm coming from, because that was a big byproduct of the Bonds era.
Right.
Was the utilization of HGH? It's what allowed them to play longer. It's what allowed them to have sharper eyesight. And this is something I am much more educated on. So I don't know a ton about test therapy outside of, you know, just the benefits of having a raised testosterone. I don't know a lot about steroids to the point where, like, I don't even know the different types of designer steroids that are out there. But what I do know a lot about, because I've spent a lot of time researching it, is HGH. And when I say a lot, I mean relative to an average man, not relative to a doctor or whatever. But, you know, I do have a fair amount of knowledge on this peptide effectively that can be utilized to spurn or level off growth hormone in humans. And it's part of dying, right? So once you reach your peak maturity for men, I believe it's like right around age 28, there are a bunch of hormonal levels that start to decline. HGH being one of them, testosterone being another. And they don't necessarily decline at the same rate. Like HGH, I believe, declines at a more rapid rate because you're not growing anymore, right? But there's a lot of benefits to having some level of human growth hormone in your system, right? It helps with longevity. It helps with slowing down the aging process. It helps with recovery. It helps with inflammation. There's just like a lot of positive benefits to it. But because it was tied to steroids, due to the baseball steroid era, it's gotten the same stigma.
Right.
And that's just a byproduct of nobody really wanting to educate themselves on things that could potentially move man forward. And that's the big thing that I'm just like kind of advocating for here is like, if we keep negatively stigmatizing these things, what's going to continue to happen is that the only people who will have access are rich people who are willing to experiment.
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening. You go look at an anti-aging clinic and it looks like a bunch of fucking snake oil. And it probably is to the everyman who has access, because if it's at a price point where the everyman can get to it, it's probably not anything that's worth anything, right?
Yeah.
But whenever you start to look at the Hollywood actors and people who are very much concerned with health, longevity, reducing the aging process, lengthening telomeres, all of these things.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Like, think about Jeff
little bit,
Bezos,
yeah.
what he looks like now, what he compared, like what he used to look like.
Right. And like, imagine if he had started 20 years ago.
I'm sure he, one of the richest men in the world has all the cutting edge stuff, right? I think he's the kind of guy who is willing to experiment with something.
Next question. So there is a huge difference between steroids and HGH, correct?
Yes, there's no parallel whatsoever.
And there was so
steroids directly impacts your testosterone. HGH has a slight positive correlation to testosterone.
Yeah.
Indirectly, it has almost.
Your body makes HGH naturally.
I just know HGH is given to children to grow.
Yeah.
Like, and stuff like that. So I know HGH can't really have that much of harmful effects.
Brian took it as a kid because he had stunted pituitary growth.
Well,
right?
I had what's called human growth hormone deficiency.
Right.
So like the deficient, like the amount that is supposed to naturally produce, your body's supposed to naturally produce, mine didn't. So I had to take a shot like once a day.
Yeah.
Right. Once a day.
That's also like a very generic term. So I remember when I was 32, I tested like bottom of the barrel testosterone levels. Couldn't really figure out why. And when I went to my general practitioner, as she was recommending me to go to I can't remember what the specialist is that deals with hormonal panels. But anyway, as she was recommending me, she's like, well, what we could try is a round of HGH if you qualify as hormonal or growth hormone deficient. And I go, what qualifies you? She goes, basically my opinion. Because it's like I'm 32. I shouldn't really be producing much anyway.
Right, exactly. When I think I was maybe second grade when they diagnosed me. I mean, obviously they took blood work. They did, they looked at the chart where I'm supposed to be on the chart for growth and all that kind of stuff. And my whole family's short. Like if you know my family, they're all short. So like, obviously it worked. Did they give me a little more than maybe I was supposed to have? Is that why I was the fastest person in the grade? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. It probably had something to do with it.
You just grow. You just grow faster than other kids. Like,
Well,
even though
I didn't grow
No.
faster than the other kids. Because
Stronger?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe.
He was shredded in high school.
Yeah.
So like that probably has something to do with it.
The correlation is that so you are at an age where and again, like I'm speculating, I'm not a doctor, but you're at an age where you're in puberty, you're growing pretty rapidly already. So your body's pretty much primed for this level of
Pump?
effectively, right? So your testosterone levels are already like reaching level highs, and now add that with the fact that your metabolism's not slowing due to this deficiency. You're not lacking height and all these other growth factors due to this deficiency. So basically, like, you were probably growing into the body type that if everything was optimized, you should have had.
Right.
And we just had to chemically get you there. Right. So and you probably should have stayed on it to some degree, right? Because you ultimately ended up developing hyperthyroidism or hypo.
Well, I had hypo, so underactive thyroid. But I was diagnosed with that at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Same time,
So
right at the same time, yeah. So
I don't know.
But like talking to Michelle, she said that like that's so common. Like she said, like
It's overdiagnosed.
Well, maybe it's overdiagnosed. Well, no, maybe I wouldn't say it's overdiagnosed. I'd just say that like she says that like so many people have like underactive thyroid.
Oh, so what I meant by overdiagnosed is that it's too general of a term, right? So I technically have an underactive thyroid, but basically all it means in reference to like what optimal is I'm slightly suboptimal. So I think that I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I think like 1 is an indicator of like a perfectly operating thyroid, and mine was laggy, so it was like 2. So I just take natural thyroid. It's natural thyroid extract. I think it comes from pigs. I can't recall. But it basically just like boosts me up to having an optimal thyroid. So that just ensures that all your systems are processing as they're meant to. Your digestion stays on track. Your metabolism, all that stuff is normal to whatever your body is built to be. But again, like we're spinning off into a tangent, but the whole point here is that that stuff shouldn't necessarily require like a high level medical diagnosis. But even if it does, it's fine. It shouldn't be a byproduct of a symptom, right? So like even if you require a general practitioner to diagnose this or even a specialist, right? Why is it not available to everybody?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like again, to your point, like almost nobody's going to fall on the perfect spectrum of your thyroid's operating properly.
Right.
Most people are going to be some variation of too fast or too slow. And that really does wreak havoc, right? Like if you have a very fast or very slow metabolism, like that really has a big mitigating fact on how you live your life, right? Guys like Randy who have to eat like 5,000 calories a day.
Wow, how much is kid eat?
Just to maintain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, or we could just correct that. Or we could just like give you a supplement that literally gets you down to a normal baseline.
Yeah.
Which all of this stuff, it's so stigmatized, but it seems because it's under the guise of performance enhancing, it's under this realm of cheating. It's aligned with this idea of like a black market and doing like nefarious things that give you an unsavory. Bro, they're all fucking doing it. They're all doing it. They're just trying to find ways to skirt the testing or to take the next thing that is the cream that doesn't ever show up. Right? Like they still haven't found
what he's
the
saying
test.
is your boy Judge is
your boy Judge is a freak.
Listen, I'm not going
It's
against
not
him.
as
They got
clean
some
as you
fucking,
think he is.
He's fucking rubbing some cream on his balls or something. Like I'm not fucking. I'm sure something's going on. He's the fucking freak of nature.
Right. So like,
But he's also like time out. He's also just a huge individual.
He's just a
Yeah,
massive,
fine.
massive
He's also
human
just
being.
a
fine.
massive,
But
like,
if you
he
want the
is.
record, then hit 74.
Why? Because this juiced up guy cheated?
See, how do you?
What do you mean?
How do you talk out both sides of your mouth like
Well,
that?
What do you mean?
because he's saying that like maybe he's rubbing a little cream somewhere, and what he's saying is Bonds is juice to the gills, as you would say.
He was
All right, so
juiced.
like he
So was Clemens that he was hitting off of. Like, what are we talking about here?
Or he
it's
he
a
hit
ba-
off of Clemens
listen.
twice a year.
Never gonna like come to an
Oh,
agreement.
you
here.
think Clemens was the guy juicing in the MLB? Like there was just no other starting pitcher
No, I'm sure there's some.
who's out there doing. You think
I'm sure there's some dirty bastards like Bond, but you know,
some?
yeah.
Bro, like you have to look back at that era. It was like sub 25% were clean. And
Sub 25.
I think
That'd be an
Canseco,
interesting.
I think
thing to look
Canseco's
at.
book was accurate.
Where he just said like everybody was doing it.
Yes.
Everybody was
I think that like his book came out at a time where there was enough of a buffer period between the book releasing and the stringent testing for a lot of people to get swept under the rug. And I also think, and this is a bit of a conspiracy theory, but I also think MLB played a role in ensuring that they did not villainize some of their most important superstars.
I think that, yeah, that's obvious. I think
Right?
that would always happen.
Yeah, because like even the Big Poppy thing, like he seemed like a guy who popped in a way that wasn't ever supposed to come public. And then it really got swept under very quickly, where it was just like, you know, just kind of admit that you took a cream or some shit. And now he's like in the hall and he's beloved, and he should be. He's great. Like he's amazing. But
Well, speaking of fitness and stuff, you know what today is?
no.
Today is 1 of 90.
Ooh, you started.
I started.
Are we vlogging this?
We're not vlogging it. We're just gonna.
We need
we're
like
just gonna.
we need
I-
like a
I-
15-second.
I might have taken a couple pictures.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, this is a good start.
Right.
We need like a daily IG
You want a
story.
bagel?
I don't know if I want to get too much into that.
Bro,
But
15-second up.
you know what?
upload.
In 3 months, we'll see the results.
Okay.
I got some
All right.
everything bagels from
But,
New York. Do you want one?
No.
Sure.
Well, I do want one, but so I went through it like not that long ago, a year or so. I did like the whole thing, but throughout the whole thing, I ate like shit.
Sure.
And the results.
No change.
I mean, no, definitely some change, but not what it could be.
Right.
This time, I'm not gonna go like full, Matt Berkey style
Sure.
diet, but I'm
You
definitely.
could, bro. You like meat.
I could, yeah, I know. I
You
do
like meat.
meat.
You like veggies. Just
Yeah.
stop eating the Italian food.
I
You
like
live.
Italian food too.
Stop eating the
Yeah.
cured meats.
I also like beer, especially during football
Fine.
season.
Just don't
Just
black out.
Don't. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's one of the big things is I'm going to cut back on alcohol consumption. So like during the week,
Or
I'm
just
not-
switch to harder
not gonna
shit.
drink it. That's true. Yeah, just drink straight vodka.
Yeah.
vodka soda.
Vodka and tonic, you're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't like tonic. No, actually, tonic has sugar in it. Vodka soda is what you want.
Tonic water has sugar?
Mm-hmm.
No way. I
Yeah.
thought that it was like just a fancy name for seltzer.
No, soda water.
Hmm.
You're thinking of the soda. Yeah, but like if you
Vodka and Perrier.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
It's fucking disgusting.
but
I just want to go on the record and
Yeah.
say that.
so hopefully I can stick to this, and we'll see what happens in November.
I think I have a lot of faith in you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start another 75 hard, the second version of it. I might just, I've been thinking about this. I'm going to take the weekend to figure it out. The whole reason why I don't constantly do this is because I feel like I don't deviate very far off of the protocols anyway. So it's just like, oh, what am I doing here? Just living my life as usual, only writing it fucking down every day.
Yeah.
Which is so tedious.
But
I
if you
do-
ever want to like veer off like one little bit, then you just fail.
Yeah, then
which
I'm
is
the
dumb,
asshole.
and, like, yeah.
Although it is nice to have that deterrent. I was telling Landon and Melissa that like simply having something to be accountable to, even if it's just an Instagram story every day, is enough to make me not have that moment of like, I can do this and be fine.
Yeah.
Because the reality is I can do this and be fine. But enough of those little lapses kind of add up, and you now miss what you're shooting for by a wider so it's kind of like that idea of chaos theory, right? Having one cookie every now and again, the idea is like small change will yield a small change in the end,
Right.
but you don't really know that, right? Body's a complex system. Like maybe one cookie every now and again is the difference between being like 15% body fat and 9.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said. Like, if like there's a lot of people out there, they said, you want to lose weight, stop drinking pop.
Yeah.
Like if you just stop drinking pop, you might just lose like 20 pounds
Yeah,
over
small
like the course
change.
of like 6 months.
Small change in your
Right.
lifestyle, massive change in the result.
Huge. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I do want to start something. I want to be more involved in the community for our Discord channel. So I have a few ideas to work through that. One is integrating the mastermind into our Discord, so you don't actually have to be a member of Software YTV to participate. A couple others were, working on like some hand submissions from the people that are the most active, kind of going over and doing reviews with those. Just basically figuring out more ways to be involved and offer a little bit more back to that 1,200 or so people that peruse our Discord. But part of that is I just want to take advantage of the fact that like we're all kind of in similar spots, and there are certainly people in there that want to live a healthier lifestyle. So it's just like maybe I just become accountable to some sort of like fitness challenge channel there. And like you're doing P90X, I could be doing 75 hard, like whatever. It's really not about the actual program, right? And this is something this is something I think gets lost a lot, where it's like it's not about the program. Obviously, they're all fatty and bullshitty and like whatever. It's like you're not going to become a better human being overnight because you started the 75 hard challenge. And same thing with like P90X. Same thing with like any particular diet. Like there's a likelihood that you'll rebound off of it. But if it can get the fire started to a lifestyle change, right?
Yeah.
Get the conversation started to somebody who wants to actually live a more healthy lifestyle. That's where I think like the real big sweeping change comes from. And it seems like, I can be more of an example like that in our little localized community, especially because I'm doing it anyway, right? So it's kind of one of those things where I think we take for granted the stuff that we do that has greater impact as just a byproduct of like who we are and what we do, where that should maybe be the thing that we lean into and leverage a little bit more.
Yeah. And I mean, I can pop in every once in a while and, let my progress and what I'm doing. Like, so like I'm doing the third one. So it's like the 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Which like, there's a lot of people out there who are, live busy lifestyles, and it's tough for them to get to the gym for 2 hours every day. So it's like for something like this is like, it's good for them, where you're getting a pretty broad workout, right? There's like throughout the whole program. I mean, they work all from head to toe. You're going to get body work and different workouts, and if they switch it up so it doesn't get stale.
Yeah.
So I mean, for someone who's super busy, that's probably maybe the way to go to start, and then you build from there.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that I think the time commitment is obviously something that everybody has to manage a little bit, but more importantly, just like the dedication to showing up every day. Like when I talk about the 75 hard challenge, the most annoying hard thing for me to do every single day is to sit down and write a list, right? So like the second part that I want to do is like you have like I think it's like a 5 non-negotiable list every day. I can't there's a special name for it, but basically like it's just a checklist. It's a to-do list. And part of it is like doing the list every day.
Right.
It's like, fuck you. I don't care. I don't want to write this down.
Yeah.
But like that means I should write it down.
Right.
Right. Because like if it's that annoying, like there's something in my head that's resistant to this, right? Like it's not that annoying for me to get in the sauna or me to go to the gym and like actually do the hard work.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, this is something that I'm lacking in my life for sure because I'm so resistant to it. I should probably figure it out.
Yo, I'm going to fight the Nightbot.
Why, is it struggling?
Yeah, it doesn't want to do... It only does contests. It only fucking does contests.
Oh,
It doesn't want
no.
to do anything else.
No, it was working the other day.
Yeah,
Try the hashtag, or at least...
I tried it all. Don't worry.
Well, while we're talking about Nightbot, there is one seat remaining for the September Academy. That's September 8th to the 11th, Poker Out Loud style. So it's 2 days of dedicated game theory training on the 8th and the 10th. As well as 2 days of gameplay where you'll be speaking your strategy out loud. We will be in the commentary booth kind of picking through your thoughts, pointing out where you get it right, where you get it wrong. That's something you will have to study indefinitely too, I guess. Yeah. Should you choose to actually do so. But anyway, yeah, one seat remaining for that. Really pumped to have a new group come in. This is going to be the last academy that we run in 2022 as of now. Brian's going to try to talk talk me into wanting one in November.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's pretty low probability. So if you wanted to come this year,
Maybe we'll get an interest
We
list.
normally do it at the end of November, right?
yeah, but
I
it's
feel
always
like my
hard.
birthday.
It's just always tough with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up.
A lot
and-
going on.
Yeah, November, December is a pretty tough time. We're also, there's things going on. But anyway, if you're interested, head to academy.solveforwhy.io. Take advantage of that final seat. If you have any questions on the Academy or are hesitant at all and want to speak about it, feel free to hit us up on Discord. I put that link in the chat, or fire off a DM and or email to any one of us. We'll be happy to give you a little bit more info. Also, we have new OnlyFriends merch.
Yes.
You can head to the same site, actually, academy.solveforwhy.io, and click the merch tab up top.
I want to spend some time putting together some like
Get yourself
OnlyFriends like merch for each one of us.
Oh, you want to get the callbacks?
Yeah, we want. Well, I can't stand that you just fucking use the word. I hate when he does that.
What, callback?
Yeah, you just love the word. You love like marrying it in. It's like your
don't
favorite
understand.
word on the podcast. I think
Callback?
Yeah, I think callback is it. Like, he
Have I
loves
ever
it.
used that word before?
No, I mean, he's a lot of words. Callback is
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Landon might have stole it and just ran with it.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure I've said it once, and it was very overt.
But
where,
no, I do get what you're saying. You want to expand the catalog.
Yes.
Of the OnlyFriends.
the clothing line, if you will.
The clothing line.
The thing is, there are endless amounts of things we can make. Melissa, we're gonna need you on the graphics.
Right? Yeah.
She makes the graphics. I will put it on the. I will put it on the website.
The funny part is the easiest ones probably all relate to you.
Tortoise.
We got the tortoise,
Oh, yeah.
something tortoise related, maybe an
Yep.
entire tortoise line, if you will.
Barbecue.
The barbecue. We got the Friday bit that
Yep.
I haven't been fed in weeks, but it's whatever. It's whatever. No big deal. I don't know. I think once the World Series starts, also, so WSOP Online is coming up soon. I'm going to try to stream a lot of those bracelet events. I think my
Maybe
plan.
win one.
Yeah, I think my plan will be to stream every Sunday, no matter what, because I'll have a full schedule. And then on the other days, I think they run on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. Stream like if we make the money. So if I make the money, pick up the stream there, move forward. But yeah, a lot of things. Fuck you, Melissa. Idiots don't even know what a do-rag is. I'm convinced that no one in this chat actually knows what a do-rag is.
I fucking love that one. It's probably my favorite.
Unreal. But yeah, like as those live streams go, you're on the air for a long time. Like I've had 16-hour live streams. Like some shit just emerges. Christian was it's funny, we can never get Chin to stream, but he's actually really good at it.
He is. Yeah.
He came up with like a lot.
Kid doesn't want to give away any secrets.
Well, it's not
for free
it's not
anyway.
about strategy, right?
I know.
He just does a good job at interacting with the chat. He actually came up with a lot of he had the chat pro voice that is so good. And for everybody who's new to the podcast that didn't used to watch our streams, he would just have these spots that would come up where he would make a play that he knew the chat was going to disagree with. And then he would just go into this voice mimicking what the chat would be like.
I don't really think that you're supposed to be 3-betting there at any sort of relative frequency. And, you're much better choosing the ace-4 candidate here instead of the ace-8.
The voice of public opinion.
Yeah, he just did a great job with that bit. We had the Alpha Rex coming out of the woodwork whenever I was streaming. Like everybody was just very proudly supporting that. That was the thing for a little bit. But it kind of dies whenever you stop streaming. It's hard to integrate into the podcast because... you guys collectively, unless you're watching, aren't really participating in that. So it just becomes like a Chin thing or a me thing or whatever. But I'm looking forward to more of that stuff emerging as the pod continues on, as we get back into the live streaming streets a little bit. I think the natural merch ideas will come out, but
I think so.
We need to get that one that's like a staple for the show, though. Just like Pat McAfee has the For the Brand. And it's a logo of a guy punting, right? So everything was always a callback to his punting career, which is interesting. Yeah, that was on purpose, Conrad.
I'm well aware.
Okay. Let me let you all in on a little
that
fucking
word.
secret. When you guys point out a word that I've used a handful of times, I will use it so much more once you're aware that it's part of my vocabulary. I will just beat it into the ground and then retire it forever.
You say tortoise a lot.
Well, that's never...
That's not going
That's
anywhere.
never, ever, ever getting retired. Never getting retired.
Good.
All right, let's wrap on a little bit of poker since we got to get out of here.
I
gotta
got
get to the
something
gym.
poker.
Go ahead.
I got something poker.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. Well, there's a ladies' event coming up, and the Lips Tour is hosting it, and they have a trophy.
They do have a trophy.
Wow.
Yo, pull up Danielle Moon's quote tweet of this so that I don't say anything cancelable prior to her having already confirmed it. Because I don't want to insinuate that I'm the only one who saw it.
That's real?
Okay, yeah, that's real. That is real. Brent texted me earlier today. He goes, he just sends me the link, and he goes, "Is this a real trophy?" And I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "It's a vagina." And I go, yeah, I think it might be a vagina.
Which
Yo.
is fine.
Well, like, you know,
fine.
Hey,
No, I don't. This is not fine because like. Wait, we can't do that because all other events are.
it's a ladies' event.
Yeah, it's a ladies' event.
It's fine.
There are no men events, so it's not gonna be like a big cock for a
Well,
fucking.
if there,
That's the problem. I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
no. Here's the thing. Like that's the irony is that as a ladies' event, that's something that they can hold as their own and champion for, and like say, you know, like this is beautiful, and we can all support that because as guys, it's like, yeah, we think the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
As a guy's event, if it were like men only, and we had a giant throbbing penis as a trophy, none of us would be happy about that. We would all just feel less than looking at the trophy and be like, I don't know about you guys, but that's not very accurate representation of what we got going on down here. It's like, hey, trophy creator, maybe stop setting unrealistic expectations for the rest of the fucking world.
Seriously.
You know? And if like, you know, it's a micro peen, and now all of a sudden it's like, who wants to win that? It's like, I've already been smited by God. I don't need to fucking win the trophy to confirm it. You know, so it's like, I think this is a great thing for a ladies' event, assuming that it actually was meant to look like a vagina.
How could it not?
It had to be intentional, right? Like,
Is it?
I mean,
Did somebody say, "Hey guys, let's make the ladies' event trophy look like a vagina"?
well,
And
it's
everybody else around them said, "That's a great idea."
I think, honestly, though, no, I do think it is. I think these things do happen by accident, like all
This
the
is
time.
an accident. This
No,
has
no.
to be, dude.
I know, but like I feel like there's a lot of things that happen like this, certain situation where like you're like, how could that could not be an accident, and it turns out that like the designer didn't even think it went right over their head.
Yeah.
Whenever like 10 people that approved its head, and then they were like, yeah, that's fine, and then it came out and someone was like, that looks like something else, and they're like, holy shit, it does.
Well, wait.
Sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes it's inappropriate. But
Well, right, sure, fine, but this was designed by the WPA Global, so this was designed by women, and I'm not trying to infer anything. Like, I think that it probably was intentional, and that's like completely reasonable and fine.
Yeah.
If it was an accident, that's like some wild, intelligent design shit.
we're living in a sim, Burke.
I mean, honestly, if nothing else, it could be a happy accident, just in the sense of they may have gone in and said, like, look, we want a trophy and we just don't want it to be phallic. And the guy just goes, well, what the fuck else is there? Like, have you ever seen a trophy that doesn't just stand straight up?
Yep.
And they're like, okay, let's start with a diamond shape. It's like, okay, this is a good start.
Yeah,
This is a good start.
It's definitely. It feels like this is.
Let's
not
start with a
thing.
diamond and let's stick a hole in the middle. We'll just build the rest out from there. Maybe they had like a rose in mind, They're like, yeah, let's
It's a
build it in a
flower.
diamond shape, like a flower, and like, and then next thing you know, idiots like us are staring to go like, I don't know much about much, but that's a goddamn vagina.
Listen, this is 100% unintentional. The more you talk about it like that, it makes me think this is 100% unintentional.
Right? Yeah, you're probably right because every woman listening to this is probably looking at that and going like, you don't know what a fucking vagina looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, how can I argue? You're probably right.
Yeah.
Anatomy, not exactly the strongest suit. Like, what are all these layers? Self-deprecation. It goes a long way, guys. Okay, so the two major events that are taking place this week, we've already spoken about a bunch, but I think it's worth revisiting every day. I think Friday maybe we'll do a couple hands from the different shows. But today we have the the high stakes game 100, 200, 400 on Hustler Live. Oh, my man Aaron Zhang. I was just fucking talking about him. Okay, let's go. Aaron, good to see you in action, my man. It's been a long fucking time. I used to play with him regularly. He would play JRB's game in Ivy's room way back in the day before he won the Triton Millions. So
As a businessman.
He was sold to us as a businessman. We all knew fucking... Look, when he won that event, all of us collectively were just like, yeah.
They were on Hustle yesterday.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
just talking about Zhang being on. And,
Yeah.
and the only thing he says, super sharp, professional poker player, this, that, and the third. And I was just like, man, he got it in good, huh?
So him and Wesley are good friends. I've only played with Wesley once, but he was telling me that like Aaron said hi and that's how Wesley got introduced to poker. Aaron was kind of like teaching him. So it's no shock that Wesley can hold his own.
Yeah.
Good to see Aaron in there. I'm kind of excited to see him play. It's been a long time. He was always good. And by good, I mean aired tight. But again, we're talking like 2015. So like if you didn't VPIP 30%, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Now I think that he probably just like falls directly in line with like very good knowledgeable player, even though he's making most of his money probably in the markets and very little to do with poker. And then the other two heavy hitters are going to be Garrett and Andy. I imagine they're going to fill the rest of the lineup with, some usual cast of characters that don't really garner the fanfare to get the head on the marquee of the stream. But I expect this to be a tough competitive lineup. Garrett and Andy obviously have been doing this for a very long time. They're two of the best when it comes to live stream deep stack no limit hold'em. Aaron, I have a lot of respect for his game. I think that he plays really well, and Wesley is good. Like he's gotten good. He's not the spot. He may not necessarily be winning a lot in this lineup, but I don't think he's necessarily losing, depending on who the other 2, 3, 4 players are. Good.
I vote for my boy Chuck. I don't know who the fuck
Who's
this
Chuck?
guy is. I don't fucking know who Chuck is.
Who the fuck's Chuck?
All I know is yesterday he was having a grand old time throwing in some check raises.
Yo, good luck, Chuck.
Check raise Chuck, please get in the game.
Check raise Chuck.
Check raise Chuck.
Yo, check raise Chuck out
man.
here in the mix. I'll see if I can find yesterday's stream, because generally speaking, when I think I don't know anybody, I end up like knowing everyone, or I've played with them at some point
I'm sure you have.
along the way. But yeah, I'll peruse yesterday's stream. In the meantime, Live at the Bike is kicking off today. They shout out to Melissa. She's out there doing the Lord's work.
Mm-hmm.
She is interviewing the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Phil Hellmuth. We got a little bit of the behind the scenes here. This wasn't with Melissa. This was.
All right, and toss the cards. Nice. Nice. All right, that's looking good. All right, one more time, and go. Toss the cards. Excellent. Very nice.
Live at the Bike the next 3 days. Tune in and watch us. In an hour or two, holla back.
Oh my god!
Holla back,
Oh my
dude.
god, man! Not only does this guy stink, but he's fucking cringe.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's hollering back.
Holla back, my.
Holla back, yogi. Woo!
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you forgot to say youngin'.
This guy, man. This fucking guy. Jesus.
You
This
should have just
is,
said, let's get it popping.
He ain't no holla back, girl.
this is really tough. This is really hard for me, guys.
How do you?
What do you do with
Yeah.
this?
What do you do?
What do you do with this? Okay, so I guess that lineup is underway. I think they're on a 3 or 4 hour delay, so it's probably kicking off right about now. If you have any desire to watch that stream, I think today is Hellmuth and Matisau are the two marquee names. When I asked Melissa who was filling in the lineup, she goes, "I don't know, a bunch of old guys."
A bunch of old guys with brown hair.
Sounds like a fun fucking game to be in. I got to tell you, I think they're playing 2550 today. Not entirely positive, but yeah. Also, by the way, listen, I say this with love because I have a lot of love for both streams. But like, make my job a little easier, guys. if I don't know what stakes you're playing and I don't know who's in the lineup, no one knows.
Right.
Okay. So like, get your shit
it out
together.
there.
Yeah.
Get it out there.
Get your social media up to par. I need to know a lot more. I don't need to see Hellmuth flipping cards and saying like holler back. I need to know who's filling the 8 seat in today's lineup, because that's going to be what Hellmuth isn't exactly going to be the only draw. You need a little bit more, especially when you're competing against a tough lineup on the other side of things, right? Like,
It probably should have been you. You should have filled in the 8th seat.
I would love to. I got to tell you, I would love to. Hellmuth is never going to let me play with him. I don't think I'm ever going to get to play any good games ever again. I don't know when this happened. I don't know when this became a thing. Guys, the entire internet thinks I stink. Everybody thinks that I've lost houses upon houses, mega fortunes on live streams. And you know what? They're not wrong. My live stream record, not great. Where are the calls? My phone's not ringing. It's just dead. Who do I got to campaign to here?
Are you using Brian's burner phone?
No, actually,
That's why it's on airplane mode. No wonder.
Actually, we got 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes before we get out of here, so I will end it on a final note. Oh my God, this is so dumb. Don't say this, Berkey. Just don't say it. I'm gonna say it. Okay.
Just go ahead and say it.
Okay. My phone number has been the same since I was 18. Okay. That's all you need to know.
You want me to give it out?
No.
Okay.
But just know my phone number has been the same since I was 18 when I lived in the greater Pittsburgh area. So take that for a grain of salt. Since online dating and having been catfished and having to navigate all these different spheres and everything else, I don't always give out my personal number.
I was wondering. I saw the fucking text.
So did I. I saw when he said that. I was like, I didn't think it was you. I was like, who is this? Maybe somebody else. I was like, this is. He either sent a screenshot of somebody else, or it was
a burner phone.
Or the burner phone.
So there are apps you can download. That are third-party apps,
right?
And they turn your
or text apps.
I was fucking dying when I read that.
They basically
last night.
create a burner line that has like no tracing back to you originally. And specifically, when I match with girls on Tinder, I almost always give the burner line.
Now that's sharp.
Yeah.
I was dying.
So, for instance, like I had a date today. I gave her my real number because she's a very reasonable person. We met on Bumble. We talked plenty. Like there was a lot of vetting that took place, and I knew meeting her was going to be a non-issue. Like it wasn't like I was going to get my house burned down at any point. These girls on Tinder are a little bit different.
Yeah.
They're built a little different. You know, so you got to kind of like protect yourself, look out for your best interests, make sure that you don't end up with a crazy person who's then stalking you. And after you try to ghost them because they're terrible people and you don't want it to, all of a sudden they're just blowing up your phone and threatening to kill your family. Luckily, this has never happened to me, but I've heard enough horror stories where it encouraged me to take the safe route, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know whose idea it was?
Neve from Catfish?
No, you're never going to guess. John's, Simon.
No way.
Yeah, when he after his divorce, when he started dating again, he got a burner phone.
Smart man.
For all I was shocked, and I was also shocked that like I hadn't thought of it. I'm like, here I am. I've just been out here in these online streets, just giving away all my information, waiting to just like absolutely get destroyed for it.
I mean, the kid thinks he can live the rest of his life off $1 million, but which, but he also is sharp with the burner phone.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So I highly recommend to those of you out in the streets, protect yourself. It's important. She'll understand if it actually ends up working out that you were just being safe.
Yeah,
and honestly, like even more so than guys, girls should do this.
Mm-hmm.
Girls 100% should do this, because if a month into a relationship, a girl told me that like she actually gave me a burner number, I would applaud her. I wouldn't even be upset. I'd be like, you were smart, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I know you're looking out for yourself. I hear all the time, like there have been a couple girls I've matched with, and you try to take it off the app because if you don't, you just get drowned out by their inbox. Right. And it like basically if you don't take it to text, it's very unlikely that you're going to get to the point of setting up a date, because she's only going to engage with you for a very short attention span. And then 25 other matches are going to come through that she has to like, deal with or whatever. But once you get to the to the actual text exchange, now you kind of have a little bit more undivided attention. You can set up a date and move things along if you so choose to do so. But a handful of them that I've spoken to are like want to meet first before giving out their number, and it's like, yeah, I think that's completely reasonable. Can I ask why? And almost always, it's some horror story of, well, I gave this guy my number, and after chatting with him for a little bit, I just didn't think it was going to be a good fit. He didn't take the rejection very well and ended up like stalking me and, sending me all these like death threats and stuff like that through my phone. And there's no recourse.
Right.
Because if somebody has your phone number, the best you could do is block them.
Right.
But they still have all that information that comes along with your phone number.
Right.
And all of the third-party apps and like, you can it's hard basically to make a person disappear, and then they can recreate like multiple new phone numbers themselves and stalk you still on this to the point where like you have to change your number.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you instead separate them by giving them the third party number, literally with a click of a button, that number disappears forever.
Oh, and you just get a new
You
number.
just burn it. It's just gone.
That is amazing.
Gone. You don't ever want to talk to anybody again? Burn the number. Gone. They have no other point of contact. Just
Awesome.
disappears. Yeah. So, hey, ladies out there on the Yale Line streets, don't trust anybody. Take care of yourself. There are a lot of devious individuals out there who are not looking out for your best interests. So, I highly suggest getting a burner app if you care to do so. All right, that's gonna wrap it for us. I gotta get to the gym before they close. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, even though we were missing our biggest and brightest stars in Melissa, Landon, and Christian. I hope the three of us old men were
Who the fuck you calling old?
reasonable.
I am a nice, young, pristine 30, under 36.
If you don't think you have more gray than me, you aren't paying attention,
That
sir.
doesn't mean I'm old.
You old as fuck.
Yo,
Not only are you
Grandpa,
old,
relax, all right?
look,
Relax,
project
jeez.
your ageisms onto me all you want,
My
buddy.
ageisms?
Yeah, you're.
Okay, just look at our birth certificates. I got a birth check, nothing.
I hate to tell you there, Tab Boy, but we are born out of the same era.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
You were born in, what, like?
80s, just like you.
No, like AD?
No.
82. He was 82. I was 81.
Yeah. All right, as always, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Melissa, also go fuck yourself. I said something nice about you, and you're gonna come in the chat and start talking shit. I grow out scruff every day. There's not as gray fucking hair to be found. Okay, I'm reverse aging. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm Benjamin buttoning this shit right here because I believe in the science and the optimization, and I'm willing to take that shot. Thank you guys so much. Please like, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we might go back to the noon time just to kind of test it out if you guys are available. Tomorrow's Thursday
I
for
hate
me.
this late time, so
I'm
11
free.
o'clock is great.
Okay, yeah. So I think we're going to plan on going noon tomorrow, and we'll just see who shows up. And if more people show up, then great. We'll keep it at noon for a little bit longer. Otherwise, as always, thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys then.
Later,
Peace.
squad.